What's going on, everyone? It's Sean Mitchell, Denver real estate agent with Co-Listings, and I'm coming at you with a market update for November 2018. And the big fat question that I get almost once a week is the Denver market shifting? So I'm going to address that right off the top. And I want to give a big shout out to one of my clients who sent me an article from the Denver Post theorizing that the seller's market is starting to cool off. So I'm going to dive into that, provide some of my thoughts, and then also cover some of the things that I typically cover, and then wrap it up with an analysis of how the oil and gas wells in neighborhoods, in and around neighborhoods, impact real estate values. Let's jump in. All right, so here's a really nice summary of the things that I'll be covering in this particular video. And I also want to make mention that the radius that you see here on this map is where I'm pulling this data from. So when I say Denver metro market, this is specifically where I'm pulling that data from within this radius. I had a buyer client of mine send me an article from Westworld magazine today, and it referenced an article written by the Denver Post talking about or proposing the idea that the seller's market is starting to cool off. And if you've seen any of my previous videos, I've been very consistent with the thought of it's really not cooling down any more than what we typically see in a slowing down of a winter season. The writer interviews some real estate agents, some sellers. They also pull some data from the Denver Metro Association of Realtors. And I want to get into some of this data here because, as I mentioned before, there's a lot of people that are always wondering, is the market starting to cool down? The short answer, if you want me just to get to the point, is no. I absolutely do not think that it's a big market slowdown or things are transitioning into a little bit more of a balanced market. I'm not ready just yet to say that it is. Here's the data behind that. You can see here consistently for the last 5 years, it looks almost carbon copy year over year over year. Now, the inflection point that we saw things starting to move into what we know today as the crazy seller's market here in Denver was June of 2012, I would say. At that point, home sales were around 4,300 homes in June of 2012. 12 months later, we saw the market jump up in June of 2013 to just over 5,300 homes. Since then, we've seen the number of homes sold in the month of June at around 52 to 5,500 homes. The one exception was in June of 2016, where at its peak, we saw 5,092 homes sold. And in its depth of the market, in around January of each year, we saw around 2,200 homes sold. That's an average difference from peak to valley of around 49%. In other words, the number of homes sold in a 12-month period at its peak in the summertime drops about 50% to its depth in about January. So what are some of the key indicators that I'm going to look for to sound the alarm bell for transitioning into more of a balanced market? When number of homes sold in its peak fall below 5,000 homes and in its depth 2,300 homes. Now that's just one data set. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the other things that I typically cover in a market update. And I want to mention right off the top that I've added some new things to these numbers. So previously I've covered month over month change, but I also want to cover year over year change to give you a little bit more of a balanced perspective, because sometimes thing in its micro month over month can look concerning, but if you scale it back to year over year and sometimes even larger, it looks like every other year. Median days on market is 15 days. That is a 13% increase month over month as well as year over year. And you can see, as I said before, over the last 5 years, year over year, it's looked very much like a carbon copy. We haven't really seen a lot of change year over year. You see a very similar peak and a very similar valley. Months of housing inventory for single family homes, 2 months. That's a flat line month over month, and year over year, 100% increase. However, that 100% increase year over year does not make me concerned. As I said, if you're looking back, let's say 4 years, you can see that it's really consistently 1 to 2 months of inventory. If we start to see months of inventory jump up to 3 months or higher, then we've got some indications that the market is starting to change. Number of new listings, 3,245 homes. That's a 12.76% decrease month over month and a 30.5% decrease year over year. So if you're just to look at those numbers alone, it would sound maybe a little bit concerning, but again, Here is number of new listings over the last 5 years. Ups and downs pretty consistently. In fact, the trend line for this data is actually down and to the right. Median sale price, $425,000. I think that's really interesting that it's an even number like that. It's a 0% change month over month and a 4.65% increase year over year. So people are paying about 5% more this year than they were last year. And here's a lovely little trajectory for how much people are paying. This is the reason why I tell people there's no better time to buy than now, because in a year's time, they'll probably pay 5% more than they did the previous year. This is also really great for homeowners as well. The longer you hold your investment, the more your investment is going to be worth, at least in the short term. Now let's jump into something that I did some research on just because I was really curious with the Proposition 112. How do oil and gas wells impact real estate prices? Well, looking over the last 12-month median sale price, let's look at the data. The majority of oil and gas wells are in Weld County. In fact, I would say 90+% are in Weld County. The median sale price in Weld County, $437,273. And I wanted to compare that to an area along the I-25 corridor that does not have, at least to the best of my knowledge, any wells. And Douglas County is that area that I think would be a fair comparison in terms of area, in terms of access to I-25. The median sale price for Douglas County, $461,008. That's a 5.1% difference or increase in median sale price. So in other words, if you live in Douglas County versus Weld County, you're going to get 5% more for your house than Weld County. Denver Metro, let's sort of look at it as a large whole picture here. Denver Metro median sale price, $449,149. That's 2.64% better than Weld County. So even if you look at the big picture here, when you compare houses sold in Weld County to Douglas County and Denver Metro, it's still quite a bit better. In 2.5% and 5% maybe don't sound like big numbers, but that's a lot when you're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars in sales. So here's a nice visual representation of how things look when you compare them side by side by side. The blue line is Weld County. Consistently over the last 12 months, it performs lower. And if you take this and look at, let's say, a 5-year or 10-year, it's consistently the same. Another interesting data point is comparing how long houses sit on the market between Weld County, Douglas County, and Denver Metro. Well, Weld County, 27 days is the median days on market in Weld County. Douglas County, 17%, and Denver Metro, 13%. So what's the moral of the story here? Oil and gas wells in areas where there are neighborhoods where people are living have a negative impact not only on sale price, but how long houses sit on the market. And those actually go hand in hand. If houses are sitting longer on the market, sellers are more inclined to drop the price to attract the buyers. All right, that wraps up November 2018's market update. I hope you found it really interesting and valuable. Do you have some specific questions for me? Feel free and put them in the comments. You can also call or email me or text me with the information at the end of this video. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next video.